Hi, everyone. How are you today? It's good to be back. I haven't been here for a while. But today I just want to encourage you and just put certain things in perspective, especially for those of you who may be going through a lot of trials, a lot of tribulations, a lot of opposition in whatever it is that you're doing. So this is an encouragement, and the encouragement is comes from 1 Corinthians chapter 16, verse 9, which says, because a great door for effective work has opened to me, and there are many who oppose me. So, this is a New Living Translation. So, many of you are going through a lot of trials and tribulations, and that's the order of the day for a Christian. A lot of people, a lot of Christians give up on their walk along the way because they can't manage the trials, they can't manage the pressure. It gets too overwhelming, and it really affects your peace, it affects your joy, it affects so many things. But the order of the Christian is that when there's a great door that is open for you, there will be opposition. Okay. So when you look at the stories in the Bible, almost every story in the Bible, you encounter people who had a prophecy upon their life, and when that prophecy came, that's when the opposition came. So it came to stop that agenda. It came to stop that prophecy from coming to fruition. And the reason, actually, those great people in the Bible are written about is because they overcame. They overcame those obstacles. They were able to go through the process, and it's a process for every Christian. A lot of Christians give up because there are certain parts of our religion, the Christian religion, that talks about just blessings and blessings and blessings and blessings, and they don't talk about the process. So for me, these days, when anybody says, I have a prophetic word for you, I'm like, oh my God, there we go again. Because I understand the process that I would have to go through for that prophetic word to come into fruition. It's a whole process. It's a whole process. And some processes take many years. But when you achieve and go through the process, what you get in the end is the crown. And that is the reason why Jesus has a crown. That is why he's the King of Kings. That is why he's seated where he's seated. Okay? Because he overcame. That is what qualified him, to be seated where he is. Um, so what does it mean? The great effective door. So a great effective door refers to a significant opportunity that has come into your life. Okay, that a prophecy has been told over your life, and sometimes it comes in a dream, and sometimes it just comes. You have these desires to achieve certain things in life, and sometimes that's how God will speak to you. Sometimes He won't send a prophet to you. A lot of times, in fact, most of the time, God is talking to us directly. Because the Bible also says He works in you both to will and to do, and the Bible also says He gives you the desires of your heart. So most times, those desires, as long as they're not contrary to the Word of God, are the prophecies that God is giving you in your life, the passions that you have, the drive that you have. So when he says a great and effective door, it refers to a significant opportunity for productive ministry or work, you know. So as stated in 1 Corinthians 16, verse 9, where the Apostle Paul uses the phrase to describe an open doorway for his ministry, even in the face of opposition. The door symbolizes spiritual opening for effective action and progress, while effectual highlights its fruitfulness and power to produce desired results. So there's a fruitfulness and power to produce desired results. The phrase many adversaries suggests that such great opportunities, the ones you have, the ones that have been spoken of your life, are often met with resistance from those who oppose the work. So the resistance will come from the spiritual realm, it comes from people around you, it comes from the closest people around you, especially the closest people around you. because those are the ones who you actually give a listening ear to. Those are the ones who um, the devil has access to all the information through. Okay. So, in the context of 1 Corinthians, on this same scripture, the door represents a chance to spread the gospel and conduct effective missionary work. A chance, because sometimes spreading the gospel doesn't necessarily mean being in a pulpit, being a pastor. No, it doesn't. You can have, it can be an opportunity for you even at work. The way you conduct yourself, how kind you are to people. Sometimes it's in your actions, your daily actions that in the people that you encounter, uh, and it affects the people around you. Someone can come to you and they're suicidal and all that. Just an act of love is actually ministry in itself, because ministry is all about love. Okay, so ministry comes in many different ways. So what does it mean, effectiveness and power? Effectual emphasizes that this is not just any door, but one that leads to significant constructive and fruitful outcomes. And that's why it's fought. So you might have an idea, you might have a passion for something, and you think it's just one of those things. But whatever that is, it leads to significant constructive and fruitful outcome. Okay. And the presence of many adversaries indicates that this opportunity comes with challenges and resistance from those who are against the cause. Okay. So I've written a book called, and that's what this whole channel is all about. It's about my book. It's called my road. It's called, look at me. How am I forgetting? My broken road to love. My broken road to love. So it depicts my process of many years on how God started taking me through processes before I eventually found love. So for me, He allowed me to go through that process. Remember the effectual door. He promised me love. So there most of you have love easily. Okay. So for me, I struggled a lot with that because He was trying to birth a ministry in me. But one of the things that I learned is this same process of the opposition, of the opposers in every aspect of your life. And one of the lessons that I was taught is how there was a time God gave me something. Okay. And He told me, I have given you this. In fact, it was a relationship. It was very clear that God had given me that relationship. Okay. I will talk about the specific relationships individually later because I've written about that in my book. But He gave me this particular relationship, and God was very clear that that relationship was from Him. And I was standing. And when He puts you in a position of standing for a relationship, it means the success of that relationship is based on your obedience to stand in that relationship. So if you are standing for that relationship, the other party may not be the one standing. So no matter what it is that they do, as long as you continue standing, they will submit to God. As long as you continue standing, because you're the one who's been asked to stand in that relationship. But if you give up, then that's it. Because the assignment to be obedient is you. The assignment to be obedient is not the other party. So when you are asked to stand, it doesn't matter what the other party is doing. You when God tells you, I need you to stand, you need to stand and be assured that the opposition will come in many ways, in many forms. The other person may be wayward, the other person will have gone into a different relationship and all that and all that. So it is your obedience to stand that makes that relationship succeed. So in my case, as much as God showed me many times in my dreams, He showed me the processes, He showed me the future. I could see the future of where this relationship was going and all that. I got tired. And it's not that I really got tired. I was tired, actually. I got tired. But then an opportunity came where somebody entered my life. Somebody who I thought was, oh, this is the best thing that has ever happened to me. Like, this is even better than what God told me to stand for. So when that person entered my life and eventually showed that, and they came very perfect, like before I thought of something, they would do it. Before I thought of something, they do it. And only later on did God show me that as much as they were doing all that, they were not sent by Him. but I was headed for doom. Okay. So look at me giving up on what God told me to do. So, but you see, God is faithful. Even when you lose that thing, God is a God of a second chance. God is a God of a third chance. He might not take you back to where He wanted you to be, but He'll give you another opportunity, and He'll give you a better opportunity. So that's what I'm talking about. When I say there will be a great and effectual door that will open in your life, in relationships, in finances, when it comes to your work, but there will be an opposition. That is the order of the Christian life. Don't let anybody lie to you that Christianity is a smooth road. It is not a smooth road at all. Okay? When a prophetic word comes, and that's why I am giving you the process in my book to show you that, because most of you like going to YouTube channels where there's just prophecy. But prophecy is just one little aspect. In fact, it's a very small aspect, very important aspect. It's a foundation, very important aspect, but the process is what is important, because the process is what prepares you, and what prepares you for whether you're going to attain that which has been prophesied or not. And I want to help you with that, because a journey that can take 10 days might take you 40 years. So that's just what I wanted to encourage you on. So I hope to see you, and I will do a few more recordings today. So love you. Gotta go. Bye.